Hey, good morning again. It's February 11th. It's a cold day here in Houston from where we broadcast this show.
Cold is a relative term, but yes, it's colder.
And what else? This is the 6th edition this year of our chat.
Wow.
Can you believe? Anyway, so before we starting the chat, we need to do some housekeeping. So how about you talking about it?
You bet. Good morning again, everybody. As you know, you're watching us on Facebook Live. We're broadcasting through Zoom, so there is a bit of a delay between what we say and what we see on Facebook. So if you're trying to get through on the chat, realize there is a bit of a delay, and so we may take a moment to respond. We are trying to keep an eye on the chat. And the whole purpose of our chat is for us to share what we've been working on, what's available from Bogdan and my work. And so everything you see today is for sale. And
again, I forgot to mention this. It's, Valentine's Day, it's around the corner.
It is Valentine's Day.
Either you are a art collector or just looking for a nice gift, this is the place to
Absolutely. Flowers will fade in a week. A picture of a flower lasts forever. That's lovely. We should put that on a card.
Yeah.
Anyway, so, the time to buy a piece of art is when you fall in love with it. So hopefully we can make you fall in love today. You find something you like, let us know. We can get it to you wherever you are.
Especially today, because we are open today all the way till 8 o'clock in the night.
Tonight, yeah.
But we'll talk about this in just a second. So let's get back to the presentation and see what have we prepared for you today.
You bet.
Exciting time. So guys, earlier today, let's stop right there.
Good morning, Leo.
We have a show here in Silver Studios. It's called Beginnings, and we'll talk about more about this in a second. But one of the piece I have in the show is this Glory. It's a sculptural piece I have worked some time ago, and I decided to put it in the show this time.
Lovely.
And Rosa Anna Orlando curated it and put it in a very nice location. I couldn't be proud of it.
Yeah, it's a lovely piece.
This guys, it's from my the sculptural pieces, born from the Inheritance series actually, and it's sculptural. I call it sculptural because it's almost a mixed media. It's almost a collage, if you want.
Well, it is, yeah.
But it's I like to print these large arches and in various sheets of paper, and then rip them off so that they have that decay feeling to it, and the broken walls feeling. And then once I've done that, I construct them and I place them on a painting. In this case, it's a painting on paper, and it gives that 3D feeling.
Well, it does. And they're raised from the back, and it doesn't show in the photos, does it?
Right. And what I like about this is they are architectural pieces, but once you take these architectural elements out of a real picture and put it in a new context, there is a new story to it.
Absolutely.
And I think it's very, very interesting.
And they can get so lost in the beautiful architecture. This arch is just one of many kind of things going on, and this is a way of isolating and making it more important.
I mean, when you think about it, there are arches and then there are dark hallways, maybe there's dust on the floor. I'm not interested in any of these things. I wanted to get the most important things in that particular picture, and how do you call that, make a distinction in between what's important and what's not, and then keep whatever is important to me and recreate something with a new story.
And you also, it's very, very texturized, right? I mean, you use a lot of elements that are from construction.
Right. So I use cement, I use,
plasters and
all kinds of plaster and
metal sheeting.
Even art, art supplies that have a cement feeling, how do you call that? Cement texture to it, or cracking paste, and whatever it's available to me at that time. I'm not going to a huge amount of expense in buying all these art supplies, because a lot of them, they are available right here in the studio, and I can make use of them in various ways.
They're lovely pieces. They're sizable pieces as well, as you can see in this one.
Right.
I mean, you have them in various sizes.
This particular one is 48 by 36, which is large. It's larger because, you know, he adds the frame to it, and it's massive.
And they have to be framed in kind of a shadow box because they have so much depth.
Exactly. Yes.
They're beautiful
And
pieces.
I want that depth. I want to touch them in a way, you know.
Mhm.
I want to get lost into this image. And by the way, they got a tremendous positive feedback for everybody that came into the studio. But guys, now this piece, along with the other one, which I can't remember right now, it's called, what a shame. It's called Silence, are available, are on view at Silver Sea Studios, part of the Beginnings exhibition.
Right. Just started this last week.
Very, very beautiful exhibition, by the way.
Yes, it worked out really, really well. People put a lot of really big pieces in.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about that now?
No,
Okay.
we're gonna talk about yours now.
Oh, we can talk about me.
From a big one to a very small one.
Yes, this one is 9 by 12 paper, but the artwork is a little bit smaller than that. This one is called Niebla. It is Niebla is a monoprint, which is a printing technique where you do a printing, but it's only one copy. You can't make multiple copies. Usually from printing processes, you can make multiple copies. So this is a monoprint used with acrylics and I think some ink. I think it's mixed media.
Why is it called monoprint? I always wondered.
Monoprint, when you print, you make multiple copies. You're printing a book, you print page.
Yeah.
You're printing multiple copies. A monoprint is a printing technique, but there's only one copy. There's no further copies of it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not
So,
from a plate.
so in this case, you put the paint on one piece of sheet and then press.
No, what I do is build up. So I put layers of things, and then I do a layer of paint. I remove some things and do another layer of paint. So it's a printing press kind of procedure. I've got it all wrapped up here, but I think you can see it's not a big piece, but it is nicely framed.
Yeah, it's great. And
That
you had a couple of them that sold.
metallic gold really pops when you get the light just right. And so as the light moves during the day, it gives a different appearance.
Mhm.
But I think it's really, really nice.
Really pleasant.
Like you say, I did several in that series, and I think this is the last of them. I'm not sure there's any more.
I think it's time to recreate something. I really enjoyed them. The other one was greenish, if I remember.
Mhm.
And once you frame them, it's
Oh,
just
yeah.
unbelievable beautiful. Because, you know, when you see it just on paper, on a small piece of paper, people say, it's a small artwork. But once you put it in a frame, it's like a
Yeah.
jewel.
Mhm. Anyway, I really like the piece, and hopefully somebody will like it too.
Yes. So let's say we went a little fast, but we have a lot of other things to talk about with you today. First of all, we want to thank you for being again here this morning with us and supporting us and listen to our stories and collecting us, of course. And I want to give a special thank you to Joe Acker, if I don't know if he's
yes.
watching, and his client, who is a architectural company here in Houston, who fall in love with 4 pieces of this Nature Remember series. And this week they show up in the studio and pick up their 4 glorious images. And you know, they're all my favorite. And it's like, you can't go wrong with this selection.
They're very, very bold. I love this is what you had in your show in January, and now we're seeing the sales coming through. That's great. They're large pieces. They're breathtaking. That stark black. It's almost like a velvety background. And so this is an architectural company.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So these are going to a corporate environment.
And they
really, really pleasant.
And I talked with them about it, and they said, "Yeah, we are, and we like architectural shots, but we don't want to just put architecture shots in an architectural firm. We want to soften up a little the environment." And I thought there was an interesting point of view.
But there's a lot of structure in these because of the doilies that you've created through those little natural elements. But there's lots of repetition and pattern.
They have seen the images before, digital or in a print, like a book catalog, and they came to the studio yesterday, and I was like, "Oh, that's amazing to see them with your own eyes." You know how, because they're very striking,
and because of the size too, the size makes them very, very impactful, I think.
So thank you everybody. Thank you for keep supporting us here, and I couldn't be more happy about this sale.
Very, very nice. And thanks to Joe.
Now, today it's an open Saturday. It's a second Saturday. We are open here from 11 o'clock right after this show all the way to 8 o'clock in the night.
Well, they're from till 5 o'clock, and then we have a reception afterwards.
Right. So shall we talk about what the reception is?
You bet. Well, let's also say that the studios are open every second Saturday. All of the studios across Sawyer Yards and all 6 buildings, everybody opens up on the second Saturday from 12 to 5. And some of us are here earlier, some of us stay later, but everybody should be open on second Saturday. On third Saturdays, we in this building, Silver Street, I believe they're starting to open over at the silos as well. We're also open on the third Saturday. So everybody will be open there too. You know, you can get overwhelmed at this place. We've got almost 400 studios in all the buildings, and you can burn out pretty quickly. Third Saturday, if you want to just come here, it's a little more, more human bite size.
But let's get back to the second Saturday, which is today. Another interesting thing is, as you probably have known from us or from social media, Winter Steel Studios next to us have went through a fire incident, and
just
all those artists now, while they're waiting for the studio to be restored, they are coming in Silver Steel Studios, and they will have a section here in our building where they can sell some art.
They did that last month as well.
Come by and say hello, visit them as well, and let's make a beautiful event again.
Yeah, they've gone through a lot, and any support you can give them is much appreciated.
And while here, you can admire the artworks, part of the beginning exhibition here at Silver Steel Studios. And you've been very involved in this exhibition.
Yes, I'm the head of the exhibition committee, or co-chair of the exhibition committee here at Silver Street. And so we get the opportunity to create these tenant shows various times throughout the year. The latest one we just installed last Saturday, Beginnings. It is curated by Rosa Ana Orlando, and we have 143 pieces, something like 47 artists.
I thought there were 200, but okay.
Yeah, it's a lot. But this time, a lot of people put really big artwork, so it's pretty dramatic. It goes throughout the building, and it will last until March the 18th. Our reception is tonight from 5 until 7. Rosana Orlando will be here to speak at 6 to kind of celebrate the installation of this great exhibit.
It's going to be great. We're going to have some food. We're going to have some wine. So head over and look at our art. Buy something. Why not? Everything is for sale. And if you see something on the hallway and you can't reach the artist, contact him. We have all the labels here, have phone numbers and email addresses.
And it's worth pointing out that the building is open every day from 9 until 5, Monday through Saturday. So if you want to come and just spend some quieter time when it's not an open Saturday and people running all over the place, the exhibition is open for viewing all that time. As Bogdan mentioned, if you see something you love, the information about the artist is right there by the piece. You can get in contact with them and see more of their work.
And before we go further, I want to say thank you to all of you to show up last Saturday
Wow.
for Nick Mayer's signing book. We had a fantastic event here in Studio 314, and that's why it's great, guys, to join us anytime we invite you, because there's always something going on here
Absolutely.
that you're going to miss. I think the event was superb.
I was so pleased for Nick, and it was just a lovely event to be a part of. Nick, this is his first novel. He had his book signing here in the studio. And how many people do you think? 50, 75 people?
Yeah, something like
a
that.
Lot of people came.
There was at some point a line that only you can see on bookstores.
Yeah.
For people waiting to have their books signed. It was unbelievable.
And you hear these stories, particularly with new authors, that they will end up having a book signing and they're sitting alone at a table. But this was very well attended, very nice people, many of which we would never have seen. They wouldn't have come into this studio building, but for Nick's association. So hopefully we've gotten some people who now know about the studios and about us as well. So congratulations to Nick. Really, really
it was
very, very nice event.
Absolutely, it was amazing. And what else? Let's get back to the presentation, because I'm getting lost in a lot of informations here. What's new? So new with me, you know, I have been working on this Reina for a while now. I just did it because my friend Lauren, one of my friends, Lauren from the framing store, gifted me this massive golden frame, and I said, what am I going to do with it now? So I have to create a piece that it's very contemporary in a very old-fashioned frame. So this is how I started it, and I think it's great.
So you built you painted an image to go with the frame.
At the moment she gave me this frame, I envisioned what I want. I was gonna has to be a painting of Urbana in a
I think this is a scream, because Urbana usually has very straight hair.
Yeah.
She's had her hair done for this event.
Yes.
I love it.
And then she has some pearls hanging on by the face, you know.
She's all done up.
She's very royal right now. It's a large painting, guys. It's like 30 by 36, which makes it with frame 44 by 48. It's just enormous, but I think it's glorious. I know somebody's gonna get it.
We were just talking the other day. Everybody's painting in orange these days.
I think that
I think we're
cold
happy
from outside,
maybe,
and the vitamins that I'm getting, I don't know, something's going on.
It's lovely and it's big.
And then let's talk briefly about, we got an invitation for a new art exhibition, not exhibition, art fair in Navasota, Texas. And we don't know exactly when that is. It's going to be this year.
It's in March.
It's going to take place in a new hotel, newly restored and refurbished in downtown Navasota. It is fabulous. And
we actually tried to buy that building.
I did apply, and they replied back to me that I'm going to hear from them for sure, because they love all the art I have sent as samples. And now I was here in the last few days, questions like, what if now I'm going there, I'm gonna have to have something that it's somewhat Texas related, but fun. It's like my style, you know. So for the last few days, I was just envisioning doing some digital art, and I came up with these funk ideas, you know, and we'll see where this goes.
That's what you're doing for them.
Yeah,
okay.
I
saw them.
Yeah, I wanted something, you know, countryside Texas, but a little unexpected.
Right, something they haven't seen before. Good morning, Frank. Frank is watching from Lafayette, Louisiana. Good morning. I think they're getting ready for Mardi Gras.
Oh, lovely. And then you want to talk about yours? Why work in progress? I thought you finished this.
No. I'm not nearly done. I think I'm about halfway done on this one.
Really?
But it's a piece I started, and then I just sat there and did nothing with it for the longest time. And now I've started up on it again. So the whole idea here is to create a juxtaposition of those little crazy little faces that I do, as well as some abstract work. And lately, I've been doing a lot with these translucent squares and language. So there's quite a bit of written text on here as well. and I'm creating these little windows into the layers that are underneath. And so I'll be adding a lot more of these layers of windows, these little glimpses into what the layers are underneath.
And this guy, what's up with him? He looks like
I don't know
someone.
yet. He looks like somebody.
Yes.
I don't know him.
I think I've seen that face before.
I think it's because his hair is like yours.
And the same as this one, right?
Oh, that one's finished. Yeah, that one is.
And it's great. I mean, absolutely, with a black frame, it's fantastic.
It really pops. Lots of oranges and yellows. I don't
And
know what's going on
golds.
with me.
And gold.
Oh, I always use gold.
Hey, guys, I know we are a little behind. A lot has going on, but we documenting everything. A new vlog is on the work, and it will come up soon, and we'll announce you of that. Otherwise, you can head over to Spotify or your music application.
Or anywhere you get your podcasts. I have a weekly podcast. We have a weekly vlog, a blog. We do the art chat live show, but the podcast is both a video as well as audio podcast, so you can listen to it wherever you buy your podcasts.
Fantastic.
Or listen to podcasts.
Or you can read, because John is writing blogs
the blog
all the
every week.
time about everything.
And it's just it's a very different audience. It's a very different voice, and I think it's important to do both.
Yeah, absolutely.
If all else fails, come by and talk.
Yeah,
the studios.
Now, let's get back to the second part of the show, and I want to bring everything here. The Blue Rhapsody, who I just found it the other day on the shelf store,
Glorious.
because I have so much work going on. And this is an kind of a 2 years ago piece I put together, and it's again worked out. I believe it's scanned, this one, each one individual one, and then placed together, something like that. And it's extraordinary. I found them. And then on this series I have others, where I cut the flowers, I split them in two, and then I recreate another flowers out of all these petals. And I will have to print this one day. And
But you have that stark black background, just like in the other series.
Yes. And this is
It's
one of
stunning.
It's just phenomenal.
Looks kind of like a hydrangea, but it's not. I think they're
everybody-
actually plumbago flowers.
At the time, everybody came in the studio and said, "Oh, I love that hydrangea," and I said, "It's not a hydrangea.
Yeah.
It's just made up out of little flowers, and it looks like a hydrangea, actually."
Mhm.
But I think it's a phenomenal piece, and it looks fabulous in various corner of the house, and brings some happiness, especially on these days when it's cold and you need some flowers in the house. You have it now. And I have a lot of others in the series. So, but there's
Some really beautiful florals, and what I think is so amazing, both with the little statues that you did in that last series. Why can't I think of the series?
the Urbana.
The series we just did, Nature Remembered.
Yes.
When you can take something we see every day and make it look new.
Mhm.
And I think that's what you do a lot with these
A lot.
florals.
Mhm.
I wouldn't be a kind of person who would go and buy a picture of a flower, but this is not what I normally see. This is a completely different experience of that floral display.
And as I said, in this series, I have deconstructed flowers, if you can imagine that, and reconstructed in a new shape of a flower, which is one of them have sold at some point, and somebody said, "Oh, what is this? I can't figure it out," because you can't. It's actually a flower cut in two.
And in reconstructing them, you do make them look very kind of architectural.
Yeah, and they have to be, to look like in nature in a way, to fool your mind, and to always have a question. What is that? Why? Oh, I get it. I understand now. So it's interesting. Makes a story out of it when you when somebody look at it.
They're beautiful, beautiful pieces, and the size makes a big difference as well. When they're larger, they're so much more powerful.
And you have an El Campo here, which is
El Campo. This is one of my kind of attempts at a landscape, abstract landscape. And that's why El Campo means the countryside or the land. And
I always like this piece, always.
You know, I work a lot in green as well, and I just love green. This particular piece is not too big. It's 24 by 20, so it's a little bit larger than some of the ones I've done in the past, but still not a giant piece that's going to eat up your whole wall. I see a horizon there with the sun. I see the kind of squares that I tend to be using a lot lately, but even the squares to me are reminiscent of fields. When you look at agricultural fields from above. So there's kind of a juxtaposition of all these kinds of elements and mixed together. I think it's a very pleasant piece. It draws my eye to that horizon line. I find it very pleasant.
I always see that horizon line in the middle with trees. It just reminds me something from my childhood when I was just going back from home from school. We had these trees. How do you made scoop, like cork trees? Is that what you call it here? You make top from wines.
Oh, a cork oak?
Yeah.
You have cork oak?
Yeah.
I didn't know you had those in Romania.
And then this is what reminds me. I mean, this is the beauty of abstract. You could
actually see anything you like,
things
right?
That make sense with you, that you have a resemblance in your history.
And I just love the movement. I love it feels like there's a breeze. It feels like you're outside, and there's just a lot going on, but in a pleasant sort of way. I've got it here just to get an idea of the size. It's not framed, but easy to frame at that size. Got some metallic gold in it because that's what I always do.
Hey, an excellent gift for Valentine's Day. How about that?
That's, if you love somebody, this'll do it. So anyway, that's El Campo. I think it's a pleasant piece.
Now we have a minute or two. I want to mention that you are in a show in Mexico City,
Just
right?
opened a show for Art Week in Mexico City. They do that a couple of times a year, kind of a Sonamaco thing. And with Art Gallery Studios, Michael Swank, I'm in their incubator art program again. And already it's affecting my work. I'm getting to where I'm much more active in my painting.
These creatives meetings are very important.
They are, and having that kind of accountability to me helps a lot because I've gotten so busy. But we've got that show. I've got that show for this. I've forgotten how long it's up. I think somewhere in March, and then we've got the VAA show coming up. The big show at Lawndale here in Houston coming up. We've got a tent in Clear Lake in April. We've got Navasota in March. So there's a whole lot going on this spring as we get sick of winter.
I can't wait.
Yeah, should be fun.
Anyway, it's 10:30, guys. Thank you for watching us today, and we'll see you either later on the day here at Silver Sea Studios or online next week at the same time and the same day.
You bet. Thanks so much, guys. Have a great week.
Bye.
Bye.